Hey everyone, I want to welcome you back to Simply Fajika, a place for budding and aspiring entrepreneurs. And if you are a non-medical home care agency owner or you're hoping to be one, then you found the right channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that is really important to your business, but not always discussed until it's potentially too late. That's right, we're talking about insurance. So if you've seen a few of my videos, then you know that I have done a couple of videos on insurance before. So in today's video, I just want to discuss a couple of things that you must have, some nice to have, and just some considerations when it comes to insurance. So if that's something that you're interested in, and I hope that it is, then stay tuned. Before we jump into today's content, I just wanted to go over a couple of reminders. Do not forget that I am doing my home care licensing, the course, starting in June. Now remember, this is something that I've only scaled back to once a year now, just to ensure that my agency owners get the proper attention that they need as we navigate the licensing landscape. So with that being said, you don't want to wait until it's too late. We have already started enrollment, and you can get the information on how to register in the link below. Secondly, we have launched our community. A lot of you have asked me questions about this, so I'm going to try to go back and address some of the comments. So the path that we have launched our community with is an entrepreneurial path. So you do not need to make payments every month. It is a one-time payment to get started. Now that might change, but right now it is only the one-time payment. So more information on our community will also be in the video description. Okay, so with that, let's get started. So running a home care agency means that you are really dealing with vulnerable populations. Not only are you dealing with our seniors, but also our caregivers are involved with who needs protection. So when you think of that, injuries, lawsuits, slip and falls, all of those things can happen. In these cases, insurance isn't just protection, it actually allows for peace of mind. In addition to that, as most of y'all know, it is a requirement when it comes to licensing, but also it can be a requirement when it comes to contracts and or referrals. So let's transition to the core insurances that your business may need. We're going to start with general liability insurance. Now, general liability insurance covers things like property damage, injuries that may happen while the caregivers are at the client's home. In the home care business, this is your first line of defense. Professional liability. Now, this is also known as errors and omissions insurance. This covers things such as negligence, mistakes. Now, even though you are not medical, things can still happen. And in the event something arises, you want to make sure that you have your liability insurance to protect your business. Workers' compensation insurance is the insurance that is specific to if your caregivers are actually injured on the job. Now, this is more to protect your employees. Another insurance that you might want to consider is non-owned automobile insurance or hired auto liability. So that type of insurance is for those of you who are looking into providing transportation as a service. So that first section, we talked about insurances that most of us are already familiar with. But did you know there are additional insurances that your agency can consider? So let's hop on over to those. The first thing that we're going to talk about here is cyber liability insurance. A lot of us are trusting our data now to the cloud, and a lot of us are running our businesses electronically. And so this type of insurance helps you in the event you suffer a data or information breach. Second insurance I'm going to talk about is EPLI. Now, EPLI stands for Employment Practices Liability Insurance. This helps you with cases of wrongful termination, such as harassment and or discrimination. There's also something called business interruption insurance, and this type of insurance, if for whatever reason you are forced to close temporarily, this insurance may help you with the loss of temporary income. Next, we're going to transition into some reminders and best practices. The first reminder that I have for you is make sure that you are evaluating your policy at least on an annual basis. And the reason why you want to do this is as your agency grows, as you continue to scale, well, then your coverage should also rise as a result. While I am not an agent, you can certainly reach out to your agent to ensure that you have the adequate coverage needed for your business. Second best practice I have for you is document, document, document. We have all heard the old adage, if it's not documented, then it didn't happen. And this for sure is no exception to the rule. Anytime an incident happens, it has to be logged and investigated. And you want to make sure that you have something to call back to that incident, including its resolution, if and when a claim arises. Third, you want to make sure that you train your caregivers. At the very least, you want to have some type of injury mitigation or injury risk training program in place for our caregivers. At the very least, you want your caregivers to understand safety precautions and lifting best practices. This will help them understand how to best perform at their peaks and keep your caregivers and your clients safe. Last but not least, you want to work with an insurance broker who really understands the home care industry. This will allow the broker to help present the best packages to you, but also at the same time remain compliant. So, insurance is not always something that is top of mind when it comes to running your home care agencies. However, it is definitely needed in order to protect yourself, your clients, and your caregivers. This portion of the video is in partnership with ADP. I know a lot of you know that ADP does payroll, but did you know they also offer some of these insurances that I talked about? And so remember, for the month of May, and I've kind of said this before, as long as you show interest with me, you can get 6 months free of payroll, but you also can receive discounted insurance. So if you are interested in the payroll or insurance product, please email me, I'm interested, at simplyfajika@yahoo.com. You can also send me a direct message on Instagram at simplyfajika. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did and you found some value in what I presented, please do me a favor and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then hit that bell notification so that you're notified each and every time I release a new video. That's all I have for you all today. Stay blessed.